Hello and welcome in, everyone. I was just doing a quick sage, clear the energy. So if you want, right along with me, take a nice deep breath and let it out, releasing any anxieties, any feelings that have been kind of weighing on you. And let's get into a read, shall we? Feeling like love. Let's see. Just took a few good deep breaths. I don't know why the energy it made me feel like I wanted to do that. I don't know, you know, this energy, although right now I'm feeling calm. It feels like for the people that this reading is going to resonate with, it's just feeling like you've been going through some, let's call it heavier times, and it's feeling like you have a need to just release those things off of you. So yeah, just hopefully, let's see where this reading brings us. Well, that came out. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I think the reason why I felt the need to do a cleansing and release and calm the energy is because there's some chaotic energy here. And it definitely is not mine. I can tell you I was in great, or have been in great spirits. We've got the Hermit, Seven of Swords. Let's see where this continues to take us. Well, that is 3 cards, but let's see. 3 of Wands. The Tower. Yeah, I was feeling we've got something. Let me have to vibe out on this for a moment here. Queen of Cups. I feel like my viewers, this Hermit is you. You're feeling like this need to just kind of stay to yourself. Something or someone has caused this Tower moment, and it's like they were a thief. The Seven of Swords is like about thievery. It's going to vary for each of you as far as what it means to you, but made you feel like you want to be a lone wolf. This Hermit energy. Somebody hurt you, and it's just forced you into this place where you are kind of like, if you see here, he's kind of on the path deep in the forest, looking for answers. We've got 2 dogs with him, and the deer in the distance kind of looking at him. It's analysis. It's taking time, right? Like this walk in the forest. He's, aside from with the animals, but he's alone. You have something that happened, this Tower moment. This feels like someone did you wrong. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust the cards a little bit. You have someone who, they hurt you pretty bad. Feels like there was some kind of deceit that it made you feel like you were split in half, quite literally here, in this Tower. It's the arch, and the lightning has struck it, splitting it in half, and we have the stones falling. This could also be symbolic of you feeling like you're split between two choices. Like with somebody, you were once unified, like this arch was whole, and now the lightning struck, and it's like it's separated you. And this Queen of Cups, you see how I actually really like this Queen of Cups. She's sitting by the sea. She's got this puffin fish and starfish. Or I said puffin fish. I meant puffin bird. I was seeing the starfish and... Okay. So... But she's got her eyes closed and she's holding that bowl like she's meditating. And that's how we started this reading. It feels like you're going through a hermit phase because of hurts and pains that you have gone through have just made you feel like you need to take quiet time to yourself, to reflect, to go within, take this journey on the forest alone, right? Like maybe it's a spiritual path, right? Because if we look over here, like this deer in the back here is lit up and glowing, almost like it's a mystical creature, which is kind of symbolic of spirituality, right? Like you may be walking on this path towards awakened spiritual fulfillment, and it's an attempt to heal from heartbreaks, from time that you almost feel like time was stolen from you, and you're doing this as an attempt to reclaim I just heard individual identity. So when I hear that, it makes me think that you are part of a partnership, kind of like I said, this was union and now it's been split into two. And it's like you're finding out who you are as your single solo self again. That's again this hermit energy as well. So you are diving into this journey of awakening, diving deeper. A lot of times when people find themselves on this type of journey, it's like they're casting out all the old things that they thought they were. It's letting go of your old identity and rebuilding a new one that resonates with this new version that you've become. Let me see here. You know what? This makes me feel like I have not picked up this one deck that I have. It's an oracle deck called the Druid Animal Oracle. I had gotten this probably close to 10 years ago, and I've only ever used it like a handful of times, but I don't know, something about this particular read makes me feel like, because when you go on that single solo journey, a lot of times you may start to feel like you maybe pull on some animal totem energy, like identifying with different animalistic nature of sorts. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if you feel like a lone wolf. But let's just see if anything comes out. The goose, okay. I'll have to look up here what the goose represents. But let's pull, I want to pull one more of these animal cards, and the boar. We've got, sorry, I'm just gonna try and put everything in on the camera for us. Let's take a look. Where is the book? There it is. Okay. So the goose. Let's look for the goose. Okay. The meaning. Keywords in this is vigilance, parenthood, productive power. I'm going to lead more toward the productive power. Maybe even vigilance. For some of you, parenthood may play a factor. If you've had a breakup with someone that you have been a parent with, right? Like you're the mother or father to your child, and now you're having to shift on your parenthood journey to a single parent. Again, it's going to vary for different people, different viewers. So I just am kind of throwing out a couple of things that I feel pulled to. All right, so the meaning. Drawn upright, this card may indicate that you are ready to take on the responsibilities of raising a family or of committing yourself to a long-term partnership. This brings creative and productive power and allows you to open to this power, secure in the knowledge that your relationship, family... I'm sorry, guys, my camera shut off. So let me get back to where I was. Relationship, family, or working partnership will provide a stable environment to act as a crucible for your creativity. The goose, with its strong attachment to its family and the ability to fly extraordinarily high from one continent to another, shows us that it is possible to be both grounded and spiritual in our daily lives. Well, what were we talking about? Spiritual journey, right? So this is a reminder. This goose is reminding you to stay grounded, as well as, like, take that dive, but stay grounded as well. Don't lose yourself completely. Like, there's going to be aspects of yourself that you are supposed to shed during this awakening journey. But I don't know why I feel called to give this example. And this is no shade to people who have indulged, but I personally know of a couple of people who, when they did kind of go on this spiritual journey, they also decided to do it along with psychedelics, and they kind of went too deep with it. And who they kind of became on the other side of that was almost unrecognizable. And you know, some people say, well, that's a good thing, and while it is, it's just that, you know, they almost became like a shell of who they were before, though. They just went too far on another level. They kind of, like, you're supposed to lose yourself on this journey. Like I said, you're supposed to shed certain parts and aspects of yourself. But some people get lost once they start walking the path. So this is a reminder to stay grounded as well. And it talked about family, right? So for your family, sometimes we stay grounded. Or it also can be about the fact that maybe some of you viewers, maybe you found out you're going to become a parent, and it's another part of this tower moment that's shaken you, that makes you kind of want to go within and shed this other layer of who you no longer feel like you resonate with, right? So it's going to be a little different for everybody, but I do feel like this goose, the spirit, walking the spiritual path and staying grounded, is where this resonates for this particular reading. And I honestly love that. So let's also take a look at the boar. And, you know, wild boars are often, you know, they wander deep in the woods in the forest, and you see that he's in the woods. But it made me think of this card here, right? Going on that spiritual journey and that spiritual quest, right? He may come across a wild boar in there as well. But let's, let me pull, there it is. It's also known as the torque. So keywords here is the warrior spirit. I like that. Leadership and direction. I like that. So I feel like that grounded direction. I like that. So let's just take a look here at what the druid animal says about boar here. Torque can open you to the warrior spirit, helping you find your direction in life. I like that. A wild and powerful animal, he calls you into the forest, wow, I just said that, to discover a secret about yourself and about the world. The ritual boar paths that exist in Wales, Cornwall, Ireland, and Scotland exist in the inner world too. And if you follow them, you will come face to face with an animal embodying the wild and untamed power that lives within all of us. Stare closely at him, and you will discover he is a representative of the goddess. His skin can heal you. He can inspire you to write music and poetry. His primal power can make you leader or chief. See if you can use your wildness and your energy for genuine acts of heroism in a world that longs for insight and healing. Well, I have to say, guys, I feel like that goes right along with what I've been saying. You know, where was it here? Exists in the inner world, right? Going within. We've been talking, the spiritual realm is about going within. The hermit, going within. God, this completely embodies everything that I was kind of leaning towards at the beginning of this read with the tarot. I kind of love that. He can inspire you to write music and poetry. So for some of you that resonates, right? I love this energy. It's beautiful. And let's see. I did one other reading with my new deck. And I absolutely love these. Again, it's another big deck here. And it's the Whispers of Lord Ganesha, right? Hinduism. And Ganesha is remover of obstacles. So let's see here, you guys. Let's see what message or messages we get from Ganesha. Yeah, these are, sorry you guys, these are harder because they're so big and bulky. So they're not easy to shuffle like the smaller cards. And it's the same as the Druid animal. However, these are thicker cardstock and these are a little bit more flimsy and they kind of bend, so it makes it a little easier to shuffle. These are thicker, so they they're not as easy. So let's see. Okay. Oh, be candid. Surrender. I feel like this is a reminder that you need to surrender to this journey, right? I love the colors on this particular card of Be Candid, right? Like these turquoises and teals, beautiful colors. So the number 25 may be significant here, or surrender is 2. Those numbers could be significant for some of you. Let's take a look at Be Candid. I'm still kind of learning these cards. I only just got them, so I'm actually going to pull the book on this as well. And Be candid. It is essential to express your truth, even at the risk of standing out. Right off the bat, I kind of love that. Right? As you dive in, you're going to have new truths that surface. And while you don't necessarily need to express that truth to everybody, there's going to be certain people that are like in your inner world that are closest to you that you should feel comfortable speaking those truths to them. And this is a reminder that it is essential to express your truth, even at the risk of standing out. So even if you feel like others may not agree with everything, it's important that you share this new level, let's call it that, a new level that you're on. But let's just see. So the situation at hand is asking you to express your thoughts. In the past, you have tried to maintain peace by staying quiet or swallowing your words. Have faith that open and honest communication can bring resolution to the situation. If you are not sure where you stand, ask. Since this card is about communication, it may indicate someone's words have created a moment of clarity. Be willing to communicate your concerns clearly. Remember to be open to others' views or arguments. Let your emotions flow without trying to block them while looking at decisions and solutions. Ganesha prompts you to be wary of coming across as rough or uncaring when you communicate your concerns and ideas to others. Before you express yourself, take a deep breath and think of what you were going to say. You know what's so funny? Think of how I started off this reading. I felt the need. Now, it's not like this is the only read that I've ever saged beforehand, but I felt the need to take a deep breath, right? A few, actually, and just relax into it and calm. And I felt this need to just like release this heaviness. So along with this inner spiritual journey, another part of it, a lot of times for a lot of us, is that we then need to kind of, like the card says, be candid with those around us about our views and our concerns. And then it says, remember to be open to others' views. And it reminds me of where the goose told us to be. Remain grounded, right? Don't let your ego go too high into it, because that is what awakening is about losing your ego. I have found a lot of people who have gone the opposite way on their awakening journey, and they've actually shifted more into ego. And it's like, no, you need to lose your ego, right? So spirituality, it really is a personal process. I will say that. So it is different for everyone, but it's just interesting. I know how I view things and others view things. I do love having a conversation about those things. So let's just finish what it says here. Teal represents the throat chakra. So I want to pull this up again because, yeah, look at those colors. I love this card just off the colors alone. So, okay, let's see. So, which represents both speaking and listening. We were just talking about speaking and listening. So, be candid in your thoughts. Open the dialogue to talking with others about spiritual awakening. Find some others who have also gone on that journey of spiritual awakening. You know, compare notes, talk about each other's journeys, right? The throat chakra is the gateway for the higher spiritual realms. When your throat chakra is activated and balanced, there is a diminished chance of miscommunication and misunderstandings. You are able to express yourself as a spiritual being. You are a good communicator, speaking honestly and from the heart, as well as being a good listener. You are able to ask for what you want and need from others. You are able to express yourself individually and creatively. Your relationships are based on truthful communication and true intimacy. This card invites you to create emotional balance and stability in your life. Emotional balance and stability. It's funny because it's funny that that came out over the goose, because that's even what we were talking about. Like, that's what the goose represents, right? About staying grounded. And Be Candid talked about the balance. So I really like this. Let's look at surrender. You know, it's funny. I feel like this is about surrendering to the journey, allowing yourself to release your ego, your previous identity, all those things that you identified yourself with before, right? None of it's real. So, surrender. In the state of sleep, manifestations take root. Here is a chance for rest and recovery after the challenges and various lessons that have recently been coming your way. Ganesha is offering you the option to retreat into a calm environment to replenish your energy and regain your composure. It's funny because that just made me feel like I want to burn a little bit more sage again, because that's exactly the energy that I was feeling at the beginning of this read. Like, I wanted to just invite people in to just take a deep breath, feel a release of whatever it was that you felt was heavy on you. All right, so regardless of what you are facing, Ganesha is gently reminding you to surrender this challenge for a while. You can take time for yourself, knowing that when you are ready, the task will be there for you. If you are trying to make a decision or change, this may not be the best time. Give yourself a much-needed break and decide once you have a clearer head. So that's another part of this Hermit energy. Taking time to yourself and not feeling guilty about it. Do not feel guilty about when you need time to reset, to breathe. Yeah, I feel, you know what, you guys? I feel like I'm going to end this read here. I feel like this is a powerful message and reminder about going within and taking time for yourself. That's what this was about. This spiritual awakening journey. If you resonated with this read, it's more than likely that you were at a place and time in your life where things were shifting pretty heavily. You started feeling like you just don't resonate anymore with your old self. And you've been looking for answers as to how to move forward. That answer is to take time to go within. Learn a little bit more about spirituality and find what that means to you about awakening. So I want to thank you for sitting in with me on this. If you're still here, I do hope that you will consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It will definitely help me grow, and it would be much appreciated. Thank you for your time.